cigarette. Lovesick, I'm feeling it. You're not the one, but I still want you like the beat in my chest. Lovesick.
Welcome! So I decided to do a dupe of Margot Robbie's like rollerblading costume that was from LA. So come and check this out. So this is a part 2 Barbie-ish, okay? So I designed some fabric from Barbie's onesie rollerblading outfit when she landed in LA. So we saw the movie yesterday. It was Thursday and we got to see it a day early. We got to see it the day before it released on the 21st. And so today is actually the 21st when the movie releases, and I'm gonna be making this and posting it. And then maybe we'll get some orders for Halloween costumes for this because I got quite a few yards of it. And maybe make my husband a matching outfit and maybe he'll just go along with it. So I'm gonna make a one-piece thong back like swimsuit. I don't have the pink shorts to go with it just yet, but we're just gonna make it and see. So I'm cutting out the front and then the back I already cut out, and then I'm gonna alter the butt coverage because hers is more like a thong back in the movie. And then piece it together. So here's the back, and then I've got the front cut here. So one thing it's missing right now is that silver foil that Barbie has is like a swirl of looks like little dots, swirl dots, foil, like hologram. And I'm going to be doing that with my silhouette, and I'm going to cut it out and iron it on. Oh, that's the crotch, that's why. And ironing it on. What's really cool about this, because I designed it myself, it's got my name in it right there. And then it's kind of throughout the whole thing. So whichever way I cut the swimsuit, it's facing. So I do believe my print's a little bit smaller. I feel like this on Barbie was like here, a lot larger scale, but I still think it's gonna get the idea, and you're gonna be jealous. Okay, so first things first, I'm sewing the crotches together. I always do the printed side, and then I leave a hole on the printed side to reverse the suit, since all my suits are reversible. So here you can see it is serged, and I leave a hole. I'm going to serge straight across the solid colored side. Once those are done, I am then going to add elastic to the top, which is going to either be the front or the back of the neckline, and I am going to serge that all the way around. This is 1/4 inch braided elastic, and it works wonders for the swimwear. I get this elastic from Woah Supply Company. So Woah has a local store here in Reno, where I get my stuff within 24 hours. I then did the armholes, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the leg hole all the way down the crotch area and all the way back up to the next armhole. So I'm going to go all the way around. The only 2 spots I'm leaving open is the torso, both sides of the torsos, and the shoulder straps. The very top of those I'm leaving open. And I'll show you here in a minute. I will then reverse the swimsuit, and I'm going to sew the torso pieces together and the shoulder straps. I'm now going to reverse the smaller side, which would be the thong back side, removing all the pins. The reason I reverse the thong back side is because if you reverse the larger side, it's really hard to get it to go through the thong portion. So reversing the thong back, and then you're going to see where the crotch folds back onto itself is where we're going to reverse it back inside, making sure that the right or the correct side fabrics are facing and touching each other. Where you see an entrance is where you're going to slip one of the shoulder pieces up. I use the torso to move it along all the way up into that shoulder piece. Now I'm just going to safety pin it for right now, and that's just going to hold it in place while I do the other arm or the other shoulder strap. And again, I'm just going to put a little safety pin in it. It's not for anything else right now. Then I'm going to make sure that the sides are matching, nothing is twisted, and all 4 pieces are showing. So you're going to have 2 of the printed side and 2 of the solid sides. And all 4 of those need to line up and match underneath your machine. This is a straight stitch, and you want to make sure your elastic is also lined up, because that elastic is in that leg hole, and you want to make sure it's lying flat. Now don't mind, my machine did catch back on its thread, so it is dragging it, but it didn't mess up the stitch. I didn't catch that. And then I reverse, and I'm going to slowly rotate it while the needle is still in the fabric. And I'm going to stitch it back down. So it's going to have 2 straight stitches, 1 forward and 1 back again. And that's just going to make my stitch a lot stronger. You can go ahead and serge it. I like the straight stitch. And then I'm going to trim my excess here and make sure it's just a clean seam. You want to make sure that your seam allowance is not too thick and that it's not too thin as well. Mine always ends up being from 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, and I've already accounted for that in my seam allowance. And I'm going to go ahead and do it the same thing on the other side of the torso, lining up all 4 pieces of fabric, making sure the elastic is lying flat. And then I'm going to slowly turn it and come back, making sure I'm locking in that stitch at the end into the serged edge of the leg holes. If you don't straight stitch over that serged edge, it can come unraveled eventually. I was checking to make sure all 4 pieces of fabric are showing up. If they're not, that means you've missed and you're going to have a hole. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing, is line up all 4 pieces of fabric on the shoulder straps. And I think my liner, my famous pink solid color here, is sticking out a little bit more, so I have it sticking out, you can see, but it is all 4 pieces are lined up. And I'm going to lock it in, go back and forth, and it's going to be 2 seams on that one, and then trimming the excess. Now before I reverse it, I'm going to shake it out. It's kind of staticky and it has a lot of little pieces of thread, so I'm going to make sure that there's no more pieces of thread. I'm reversing it through that little crotch hole that we left opened on the printed side of the crotch. I'm checking all the seams, making sure there's no holes, making sure that all of the seams are connected. There was a serged like braided chain stitch that was hanging out of that side. And now once everything is okay and quality checked, I am going to close up that hole in the crotch, fold over those pieces to line them up with the serged edge, and it's going to be a very small straight stitch across. Yay! It looks so cool. Now time to put on these HTV holographic little circle designs. So my blade was not set accordingly the first time on my silhouette, so my blade was too, it wasn't cutting. It wasn't cutting it. So it took me 3 times to get the blade correct on cutting these. So those ones have like multiple cuts, and I finally got it right. But I ran out of this print or this HTV, so I'm gonna have to buy more. Alright, so I cut out some of these little pattern designs. The other ones didn't work very well. So I'm just gonna do the front for now, and then I'll have to buy some more of this HTV and do some more tomorrow. Adding sparkles. Alright, here's my Barbie backdrop. And because it is more portrait, you're not gonna see it in the YouTube video. It is 8 feet wide and 16 feet long, so it has a swimming pool bottom. It's pretty cool down here, looking like a swimming pool. I have my ring light on, so it's kind of bright up close, and then it looks really cool far away. Let me see if I can. Here's my swimsuit, so I do still need some more foil on it. Cute little cheeky back. I got my cute little baddie scrunchie here. I bought all the Fun Boy beach balls, so that were from Barbie. My inner tube. So definitely stay tuned and look for these pictures. They're gonna be so cute. It is too dark right now. It's now nighttime, so we gotta wrap this up. And I think it turned out so cute. The reversible side is a bright neon pink called Famous from Blue Moon Fabrics. And then I custom printed this fabric from my company, Fabric Punch. And you watched me cut out these foils that were a pain in my butt. And then I forget the pattern to this one piece, but I've altered it. Anyway, and this is a size large. And the reason it fits me large is because this is an extra large and it's not fitting that. It's not going around it. So I'm a large everywhere else. Thanks. Bye.